Now, usually I talk about investment opportunities and strategies, but because Trump came out with the news from the left field, I thought I owe it to you guys to talk about Tencent, considering it's one of those companies that I really advocate for. They're doing a lot of the businesses right, and what Trump just did, I mean, that is the weirdest Cold War maneuver I've ever. It saddens me. So if you didn't know, there's an app called TikTok that's owned by ByteDance, which is completely not related to Tencent at all, and they've been caught stealing data. So Trump has been trying to ban it, and at the same time, Microsoft's been trying to buy it. And as far as I can tell, Trump is basically helping Microsoft to close this deal ASAP while getting a big fat check for the U.S. Treasury Department. But then Trump decides to add WeChat into the mix of Banage, and WeChat is owned by Tencent. WeChat, in fact, is a huge part of Tencent's business, being that, WeChat is one of them, digital payment and gaming. Those are the three major pillars of what Tencent does as a business. Now, on the surface, it's actually not that big of a deal because the majority of Tencent's WeChat business, 1.5 billion monthly active users, they're outside of the US. Now, I actually read somewhere that they only have 3 million US users, but I can't for the life of me find that stat. If you know, please share the link. As far as I'm concerned, if that is the only ban, then this is more symbolic. And because the market is overreacting, this actually creates a buying opportunity. The problem with that thought process is that we all know Trump is very, very unpredictable. And if China decides to, let's say, retaliate, then all sorts of crazy shit might happen. And even if China doesn't retaliate, we all know that Trump hates everything that's Chinese right now. And he might ban more stuff. For example, a lot of the stuff that social media is talking about right now is, what if Trump bans Tencent's gaming holdings? Tencent has $22 billion worth of partnerships. Most of them are US companies. This includes Riot, Epic Games, you have Ubisoft, you have Activision Blizzard, you have Glue. I mean, if you never heard of these names, just think about League of Legends, Fortnite, you've got the Kim Kardashian app, you have all sorts of like really, really popular top hits, top of the chart games that involve Tencent, either directly or as an investor to one of these American companies. And if Trump forces Tencent to divest, who knows what's gonna happen? It'd be crazy. And worst case scenario, what if Trump decides to say, Android and iOS has to ban Chinese apps? What's gonna happen then? I don't think the worst case scenario makes any sense because, Apple and Google benefits from these Chinese apps in the marketplace. They're really, really popular, generates a lot of revenue. I think it's more likely that if something happens down this line, they're gonna ban the app downloads from US IPs. That's probably a lot more likely. I am very much impressed by what Trump is doing, but I mean, this is like bringing an axe to a knife fight. This is fucking insane. Me personally, I'm actually not going to sell my Tencent shares. I am reasonably invested in Tencent, especially because their earnings are coming up and I have a very positive outlook. I still have a positive outlook, but I don't know what's going to happen. And on top of that, because I don't want to make any rash decisions right now, this is also why I haven't sold any of my shares. I mean, we all know Trump does shock and awe really well, and we don't actually know what the end result is because this isn't the first time he's threatened the business. And thirdly, I mean, Tencent is not known, as far as I'm concerned, Tencent is not known at all for stealing data and anything like that. And WeChat, the app that they're banning, is 8 years old. I mean, it's a very, very reputable product that is used globally. So none of this really makes sense. Even if you think about it, right? Like the EU has better privacy laws than the United States, hands down, and they don't have problems with this. So like, what the f is going on? all I can see is that Trump is just fucking with China because he can and he wants to and he's pissed off. Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to say. Just be careful. If you're invested in Chinese companies, another company to watch out for is Alibaba. Both Tencent and Alibaba are heavily engaged with American companies. A lot of reputable American companies bank off of Tencent and Alibaba. And that's another prime target if this is the direction that Trump is headed. Good luck on this earnings season. If you have any opinions, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear back from you guys. And I look forward to talking with you next time with our regular programming. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.